Good morning, everybody, and happy Tuesday. We're back for another episode of live trading. We don't have Mitch today. We do have 13 today, so we're going to have a great day. Got some data this morning. Let's go ahead and hit it.
Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Those words have been dancing around my head all night. Oh, it's Vegas lore, that phrase.
All right, folks, we're back. Happy Tuesday. We're up for another edition of live trading. I hope you folks are all doing well. I want to welcome my main man 13 to the stage. 13, how you doing on this Tuesday?
Doing all right. How are you this morning? How are you out there in live trading?
I'm good. So far, so good. It looks like based on the comments. Good morning, Carmen, Market, Seekin, Jonathan, Crayolarts. Okay, Brian, Jay, good to see a whole bunch of returning faces. Looks like we're in good shape here today. So let's just dive right into it. Let me go ahead and throw my chart up here. So normally what we do is we take a look at the SPY first. This time we'll start with the data. So we did get the CPI month over month for November, 1/10 versus a flat estimate. The reading prior was just 0. The core CPI year over year for November plus 4%. The estimate was plus 4%, so we're right in line there. And the USA CPI year over year for November 3.1 versus the 3.1 estimate, so we're in line there as well. Prior reading was 3.2, so it's just a little bit softer than the prior reading. So the data's out of the way here. I think the most notable thing was how the market reacted. Let's go ahead and talk about that. Before I dive into the intraday chart, the one thing, I know it's early, we don't have nearly enough here for today, but today's candle sure looks like a top candle. We'll see what the day does to confirm or change that. But let's take a look. We got another special guest joining us. What's up, buddy? What's going on, dude?
Do you let him place any trades?
No, I do my best to stop him from placing trades, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. Okay, so if you take a look here at the SPY is generally what I look at. I know I own SQQQs, which is affected by the Qs, but SPY is generally what I look at when we first get these data prints. You can see here that the first reaction from the print was up. Now we kind of sold off, and now we're kind of curling. So really, to me, Joe, and I'd like to hear what you think about this. My question is do we actually continue this rally that we've been on, or is this the start of maybe a little bit more of a down move? And that's what we're gonna find out here today. So again, I don't really have the, I'm basically, I want to know what direction. I don't necessarily have a specific level now that we've taken 460, but I do want to be able to confirm a direction. And in the case of how I'm positioned, obviously, hopefully this direction is down. Now, given the print here this morning, what did you think about that? Did you notice anything? Have you been trading it even yet?
No, I haven't traded this morning. Pre-market is just not something I like to do because
Same.
I'd like to see my orders filled. But with the CPI, that was a pretty sticky print, and FactSet had been expecting those exact numbers. So they're in line with the expectations from them, but I don't know I don't think the market was really looking for a sticky CPI. I think there were some groups and ecosystems that were looking for lower print than that. We haven't really had too much of a reaction in the market yet. We initially had a pop and then a drop, and then the market was kind of recollecting itself and going, okay, which direction are we going? And they started heading a little bit lower. At this point, we're bouncing, and now we just bounced off of looks like consolidation toward the end of the day yesterday, and now it's trying to get back up above to where it was in pre-market this morning. To me, it looks like it's about to go lower. Just because that's more of a bear flag formation that I'm seeing in the 5-minute chart of the SPY.
All right.
So I think so. That's my assessment right now. I think we go a little bit lower today. I just don't think it's going to be a huge drop. But
Okay. At this point, I'll take anything just because I've been adding to my SQQQ on the way down. So if the Qs do trade down, let's just put it this: maybe we don't really sell off, but we have kind of a down move led by technology, or even more specifically, bigger cap tech. That would actually be good for my trade. So we'll see. We'll play it by ear. But this is we're data dependent, aren't we, Joe? Just like the Fed, we're data dependent here.
let's keep in mind what happened with the Magnificent Seven stocks. Like all but one of them had sold yesterday, so I'd be looking to see if that continues. But other than that, I just want to see how the market's going to open this morning, react to that CPI print, and then tomorrow we have the rate decision. So I think that's gonna be a bigger market mover than the CPI today.
Yeah, I'm with you there. And yesterday, good call on the Mag 7. Yesterday, it looked like a very orderly rotation out of those stocks into everything else. I think it was Jay Rice that said that. So, okay, that's that couple of things here I want to clear up from the chat. And Abby, Ryan, is it possible to increase streaming resolution to 1080p? No, I cannot change the streaming resolution. If you can't see the numbers, then please adjust the YouTube setting on your side. This has been working this way for several years now, so I cannot make changes to it, or I will have an entire team with pitchforks ready for me. So no, can't do that. Please adjust your option to source. That should help. Seekin saying higher for longer is good. There will be a discount in the market real soon. Seekin, I am in complete agreement with you. This is actually what I'm waiting for. Our happy group, our happy group.
We are happy.
The happy hour group, one of the things they've been saying is it's kind of like a consensus here is that there's going to be a wealth move. Once we get that discount that you're talking about, that's going to set us up for a wealth move, and that could be a prolonged move, and we're all waiting for that. In fact, for those of us that don't have multi-million-dollar accounts or don't have big accounts at all, the wealth move is what we really need. So really the only thing is going to be making sure you don't get destroyed on the way home. You have enough powder to multiply that when that wealth move takes place. That's what we're waiting for. We shall see. Lynn and Randy, good morning. You're still talking. Nick Shaheen called 550 on the SPY. Gosh, I'll be honest. He's a smart guy, but I hope he's wrong. That would really have me off sides, but we'll see. We shall see. Okay. Have you covered Oracle yet? No, we just got here, so we're gonna start covering some of those things. In fact, why don't we just start with Oracle?
Sure.
Then we'll move to the gappers here. 13, we were watching this last night during happy hour. They reported earnings during our happy hour program. Stock immediately sold off, took another leg down. Now, it did try to bounce, but I think what's notable here is that in the pre-market today, we've actually come back into the bottom end of that range here. Looks like we're testing that 104 area. If we take a look at the daily chart here, the picture becomes a little bit more clear. We did gap below the 200-day. What would be or what seems like is on deck here is going to be a test of this $100 level to the downside. Last time we were here, it held, we bounced. We've actually bounced significantly, 17-point move there. So if this holds again, first things first, maybe there's a potential trade. I got to say that given the gap down, given the move through the 200-day, I have to think that this probably probes this level a little bit lower as opposed to just insta bouncing from here. But again, we've seen crazy things in the market, so we'll see. I have no position in this yet, but I will say that I'd be looking at calls, maybe 110 calls, if we were able to hold that 100. I'd look out into January and February on those. We'll see if we end up getting that. Oracle, really good company, but obviously these earnings sending it down here.
Pretty oversold too.
Pretty oversold. So you would expect a bounce, maybe not right away, but
I like your $100 level. I think that seems about right. And there's still room to go and not be so oversold that it just immediately gets bought up. But I would, if we do get that bounce at 100 today, I'd probably expect a red candle with a pretty good sized bottom wick.
There you go. Jay giving us some more stats on this Oracle. The expected move was 7%. This is greater than a 2 standard deviation move here at minus 9.5%. Not great. There you go. So, oh, wait, what, Jay? Oops, that's wrong. Not a 2 standard deviation move, 1.5. Okay, we'll let it slide that time, Jay, but I'm going to need you to tighten it up a little bit here. All right, tighten it up. Just kidding, my dude. In any case, we'll see. I would like I'd be interested in an Oracle play to the upside, especially if all this stuff lines up, right? If we get that hold that starts bouncing and the market's already kind of sold, and we'll see. We'll see how it all shakes out. Plenty of stuff for us to do here today. Let me flip over to the movers tool because we got a couple of things with some catalysts today that are absolutely going to be in play. First one here is going to be ADTX. This is a DTX. Probably pronouncing that wrong, so I'm just going to stick with the ticker ADTX. The stock did pop as high as 750. We do have a catalyst here. They entered into a definitive agreement to acquire Eviome Biosciences, the creator of some drug Phexxi, the first and only FDA-approved hormone-free contraceptive gel to address diverse reproductive health needs of women globally. So as we saw with some of those Femi PRs, which I believe also did some type of female birth control, this is a huge market. There's obviously a huge move here. Stock's up nearly 80% on this news. I would expect some more fireworks here, especially as the volume starts to pour in when the regular market opens. As far as like actually trading this, to me, it's going to mostly be about VWAP. If we're starting to get extended from the VWAP and it looks like the stock is trying to hold and maybe curl and change its direction, then I might trade that for a long side trade. But for the most part, I really want to see it hold some of these levels. A breakdown beneath 6 is going to have me spooked. I would need some more information to tell me that the stock has some more upside here. Upside of that range, or the top side of that range, I beg your pardon, 750. So a $1.50 range in there. We'll see where it settles and how it actually trades like.
It looks like it's about to go.
Go
I mean, it's got a really nice bullpen formation here, and it looks like it's about to just take off in pre-market, if not the open. It's really starting to come in.
And if it takes off pre-market, that's going to be okay with me. I am like you. I do not trade in the pre-market. It always seems to get me in trouble. It's more difficult. I'll wait for the volume to come in when the regular session opens. It does look like it's trying to take this out right here. We'll see, though. We'll see. We're looking at about 10 minutes until we open, so there's some more pre-market shenanigans could absolutely happen prior to our opening print here. But ADTX definitely on the list here for today. Next stock here is going to be CADL. This is also on the list here today. This is Candel Therapeutics. You can see that initially the stock popped as high as 330 here, and then came all the way back in, and we're doing a really good job holding the VWAP right now. Candel Therapeutic shares are trading higher after the company announced it received an FDA fast track designation for CAN 2409 in pancreatic cancer. So any type of cancer treatment, therapeutic, anything like that, generally speaking, makes for good moves, as that market is obviously huge and cancer is a terrible disease. So I definitely think that this could get rolling here today. I'm not sure what to make of this initial candle just because we retraced so much of it. But before I even look anywhere near the top level of this candle, first level I'd like to see taken out here is going to be this 164. This would be this, let's call this second impulse move up, right? This also coincides with the biggest volume stick that we saw here in the pre-market. So this is absolutely one of the levels that I'd like to watch here. If we take a look at the hourly, we really don't see anything. If we take a look at the daily, that tells us a little bit more. We're talking about maybe 167. Then I think maybe 187, maybe 175 in here. This was definitely some consolidation in the past. We'll see as CADL gets rolling here. It's not a stock I'm very familiar with. 19.3 million in the float. On average, trades 30,000 shares. Already traded 9 million today. So look out. This thing liable to be wild here today, and we'll see how that goes. Do you have any plan or thoughts on CADL 13?
With how it's just consolidating at this level, I'd want to see it break out at some point here. And remember, we saw something like this with that one yesterday, INVZ, just consolidated for the entire morning, and then it broke out in the afternoon. So far, that's what this is looking like. So I'd be looking for this to break out. I just don't know when that's going to happen.
So that's actually a really good comp. I was a little bit disappointed in this stock yesterday. Remember, I actually stopped out of this very, very small loss because it really wasn't doing anything. Once I was out of the way, look at the huge move that we had here in the afternoon. I'll be honest. I've seen this type of thing happen more often than not. And one of the things that I really have to do, I have to start working on being able to allot myself time in the afternoon to go after some of these. My big problem here is that if I put on a day trade in a stock that I don't feel comfortable holding overnight, I don't necessarily want to walk away from the screen for multiple hours at a time, even if I do have a stop set. I want to feel like I'm in control. Maybe that's an illusion, but that's kind of where I'm at. That causes me to miss some of these smaller stocks that do this move later on in the afternoon, or it shakes me early on in the morning and then makes the move when I'm out of the way. So this is definitely something I'm looking to adjust. It's kind of a work-life balance, right? I'm trying to balance that with the actual job that I do. It is what it is. It's a constant battle, if you will. So we'll see here. I like your comp to INVZ. We'll see if CADL gives us a similar type of move. Next one here on the list is going to be C4. This is ticker CCCC, but I'm going to screw that up so many times. I'm thinking to try to just stick to C4 Therapeutics here. Plus,
you're a smart man.
Yeah. Plus, I mean, C4, I mean, growing up, James Bond, C4, explode, the whole thing. I mean, I'm used to saying that. So no big deal there. Anyway, as far as the stock goes here, C4 Therapeutic shares are trading higher after the company announced a license and research collaboration with Merck to discover and develop degrader antibody conjugates. Joe, do you have anything on this one? I'll be honest, I don't even know what that means.
For this one, the thing that stood out to me was how they're going to be receiving payments from Merck, and how Merck has the option to extend that contract to where C4 could ultimately receive up to 2.5 billion in payments from Merck. So I think that's the big takeaway for me is the money that they'll end up getting as part of this agreement, and potentially more money that they could get as part of this agreement.
Okay, so that all sounds good then for this. Trade-wise here, we've done a really good job on the corrective move here. You see the impulse move was multiple stages, took us all the way up to 216. The corrective move, we actually held 170. And if you zoom in here, you'll see that we not only held it once, but after that bounce, we actually held it twice. You could make an argument for a third time, but with 1 minute candles, I want to say that's just one single test in there. Now we're holding above it. If we can actually move through the VWAP, we should have a pretty decent trade in our hands here. I definitely think if we move through the VWAP on good volume, I don't think 216 is out of the question here. And depending on how the strength of this stock is as we trade up into that level, we actually might pop above that. So I'm not saying it's going to happen, but that's one of the things I'm looking at. We got three really good candidates here right off of the movers tool. All three of these gappers have some type of catalyst. We'll determine, and the market will determine how strong those catalysts are as we move forward here. There were, I guess, I just want to mention these. This is ICVX. This was a buyout, wasn't this? This was a merger. Yes, AstraZeneca set to acquire ICVX for $15 a share, currently at $15.61. So that, I don't think there's really going to be any action there. That's just an acquisition. INAB, I feel like we've traded this one before. Decent volume pop here. We'll see if the top end of these ranges get hit. Was there a catalyst on this one? Yeah, this was after hours yesterday. Positive clinical update demonstrating continued durable. Excuse me, I'm sorry about that. Durable complete remission in 100% of evaluable patients in the phase 1 trial of its drug for leukemia. So that's a mouthful, but that PR reads really well. We'll see if INAB gets rolling here. We did have off the impulse move yesterday. We had some decent volume, had some more volume here today when the pre-market opened. This did it at the 7 o'clock hour. So I think that this is retail. Just keep that in mind. We'll see. I did notice that some of the Bitcoin names are on here. I'm sure we'll watch Bitcoin. Wolf's not really doing much. Go-to from yesterday.
About Bitcoin, that seems to have found support at the 41,500 level. We're getting we had some support over there from the past 2 days, and then now we're coming up off that level. I think there was some news this morning about Anthony Scaramucci, the Mooch, being bullish on Bitcoin in 2024. I don't know how much of a driver that was, but that's one of the headlines I saw. Okay.
Well, there you go. Yeah, I'm not sure on that one either. But there you go. There's your headline. A couple of things here real quick. Lynn saying, question for Ryan. How do you deal with squawk while you're doing this? We can't do it. Maybe text squawk is the solution. I'll say this. I'll take the second part first. Definitely not. Tech squawk is definitely not going to be a solution for me. I'm already reading and looking at too many things. The entire benefit of squawk is having it spoken to me. So this would actually, I don't know that I would choose the text squawk over the voice, really in any circumstance. Now, the first part of your question here about how do you deal with this? Well, one, it's just practice, right? The other thing here, real quick, is I like to adjust volume levels. So one of the things that you'll see here is that my equity squawk volume is at 72. I currently have it stopped. For the most part, I have it running. Some days I actually stop it, depending on what's going on here. But that's also an answer to this question. When we're having a discussion or when I absolutely need to focus on what's going on, I just simply pause it or turn the volume down. Otherwise, I kind of adjust the volume so that I can still hear it, but it doesn't really distract me. I would say practice makes perfect in this. Everyone's a little bit different. Find out what works for you. As far as the text squawk, that is something that we're investigating. I don't have any type of timeline for that, but
Charles actually will post some of what he says in the day trading channel.
Yeah, and that's finally that's the last thing here. A couple of things real quick. No, it's totally fine. First of all, in the day trading chat, you will often see Charles posting. And again, as a reminder, he's highlighted in green as he's an admin. But also, if you really like the high beta squawk, there's a more complete transcription from the squawker and his team in the high beta squawk room. So try that if it's really distracting for you. Those are the best tips that I have here. Okay, we are open. Right now. I was off by a second there.
You were pretty good wrapping that all up right before the market opened.
Yeah, I planned that.
And there goes C4.
See, it's hard. It's hard. Okay, so actually I was rejected right at the view app. Oh, you know what? I didn't even get my trade the pool stuff ready because I was doing other stuff. Let me get that up here. Just give me a sec. Oh no, feel behind now. SQQQ moving higher. Thank gosh.
ADTX is ripping out of the gate and halted. This is going to be one of those.
Jenny's suggesting here, turn on squawk on your phone. I've done this a bunch of times. Don't tell anybody, but I've actually thrown an earbud in, attended a meeting with the squawk on, paid attention to the meeting, and then when I heard the squawk, looked away from my computer like I was doing work only to place a trade. So been there. Just don't tell anybody. All right. Trade the pool is open here. That loaded up here. I-Not 850, so let's go.
Looks like C4 is trying to stay over VWAP. CADL selling off at the open.
Yep, here we go on C4. Okay, I'm in trade the pool. I am going to try this. Oop, what happened here?
There's a lot of supply up all the way up until 2.
Oh, my numlock. I was like, why aren't my numbers working? That's because the numlock key got hit. So that's why. All right, I'm going to try some C4 here. We'll see. Here, let's add this to the stage so I can get, there we go. So there we go. Position open. We'll see. Giving it a shot right out of the gate here. I'm feeling feisty today. Normally I wait, but I'm feeling feisty today. I went a little bit smaller here on this position, so we'll see. Okay.
That morning
okay. ADTX halt. Jane, good call there. Sorry for running you over there. 13. We'll get back to you in a sec here. ADTX halted to the upside 770 on that initial move. Jay Summers saying Oracle dip and rip. Actually, Oracle is on that relative volume scanner. Here you go. So I see. So dip out of the open. That rip took you right back to yesterday's after hours lows, that 104.5. I actually like to see this come in a little bit more. That'd be good for my short tech trade.
I'd be interested to see what happens around 107, where the 200-day SMA is. Probably might get some resistance there at that level at 107. Oracle.
Okay. I am setting up a stop on We're going to do it on 84. There we go. Okay, I'm going to set up a stop on C4 so that I can actually take it off my screen and look at something else. This way, if it absolutely falls out of bed, I'll be okay. There it goes, falling out of bed and stopped out. Okay, sweet. Glad I did. Glad I did that. Oh my goodness,
that was a feisty trade.
That was feisty. But you know what? That was. I kind of had a feeling that one might not work out. So we'll see. That actually went right down to the low of day at 180 and bounced. So
yeah, the supply between here and $2 is just pretty heavy. There needs a lot more buyers to come in order to get through that.
Now you've got me interested in Oracle. If this can continue a bounce here, we did reclaim the VWAP on Oracle, but really not strong enough, not able to get over that 105 area. In fact, we didn't even really test a 104.5. It looks like.
Ryan Milligan says that Fubo is worth a look.
Fubo.
They're up over 5%. What's going on?
That is definitely moving here. I'm going to roll through some of these here. Let me zoom in. CADL unable to reclaim its VWAP yet. A little bit more selling. We'll see on CDL. Here's Brush. This is a penny stock. We used to trade this when it was above $1.
Fubo, if it has any fuel in the tank, I'd say $4 is probably going to be a good resistance spot. That's just what I'm seeing.
INVZ starting to get a little jiggly here today. Looks like we took that VWAP back. Let's see if we can take 250 INVZ. Oh, that's the buyout. ICVX. Yep, that's right.
So we're back to the demand zone here with C4, and let's see if it can reverse.
Oracle back through the VWAP to the downside here. This is right. This is C4 here. This is actually lower than where I got stopped. I had a very aggressive stop on there because my intention was to take it off the screen right away. I couldn't even take it off fast enough. What I want to see happen here is this battle here at 180. We have a huge offer at 182, and then there's a bid at 180 that just cracked, and we're going lower here. So C4 might still set up again. Next spot down here for a potential hold I have at 168. So we'll see if we get that. Tesla ripping to the lows, just big time flush on Tesla here. Tyson moving to the lows as well.
That sounds good to me.
It sounds good to me too. We still have a ways to go there. We're still above 50. I'd like another 7-8 points on that.
I've got his time, brother.
Yeah, you got that right. The one thing that I'll notice here on Tesla, we see this on a regular basis. The further it gets away from the VWAP, the more likely it is to rebound. And that I'm not really breaking any new ground here. I think one of the things that I might start watching here is when those reversals actually happen. Like, for example, right now we're about $2.50 away from the VWAP. At what point does the stock actually reverse? Like, let's see, yesterday this was...
Let me pull up Tesla and I can look at my chart here. So we're at the 50-day SMA. There's the 200 beneath it. This is the thing is that we're coming off this downtrend line that I'm sure you drew it previously.
Real quickly, C4. This is what I was waiting for. C4 moved down to that 180 or 176. It looks like held, and now we're going higher here. So I was hoping for this move initially. It actually shook out the weak hands, of which I was one of them, and now it looks like it's trying to move higher. So we'll take a look here at C4. Intraday high here, 194. We'll see if this ends up rolling. Let me get this back off the screen. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you there. What were the rest of those levels you had on Tesla?
Well, you also drew the downtrend line in Tesla on a daily chart. We just used the...
Yeah, did I do it on this one? Let's see.
I think you may have.
I did it on this chart tool. Here you go. Oh,
okay. We just need to extend it. That's all.
Yep. We were drawing the triangle here, but let's extend this instead. This is the downtrend that you're talking about.
So we're still trying to come off of that. We're just in this sideways area here. Maybe it gets support from the 50-day. I'm not sure.
You're right there, man. You right there. You're 30 cents away from that 50-day here.
So I would say if that level right there doesn't hold, because you can draw a line right there and to see how much the price has interacted with it. So what we at 234. So let's call it 234, 235. If we can't hold these levels, then I'd probably be looking at the 200-day SMA as the next support.
That makes sense. It is trying to bounce off 234, at least so far. We'll check back in on that here in a sec. CADL. This is another one here from the list.
It's trying, isn't it?
It's trying. It's trading up here. So we're right at that VWAP. Let's see here. In fact, let me take a look and see what the level 2 looks like on that CADL.
There's a big old order up at the
140 area. And then there's a little bit more above it at 149. So that 148 to 150 area is going to be key here on CADL.
C4 is still trying to get and stay above VWAP. Watching Market Snipers, watching View for volume. This thing was a monster for me this past couple of weeks.
You were in and out of View, weren't you?
When it initially started trading up and was doing all those halt fests, I was just playing that like crazy. That was fun. Yeah,
this holding this 207 here, it's trying to bounce. We'll see. Volume, volume actually not bad. This kind of like yesterday. We'll see if this dries up. That's what happened yesterday. It did take a little bit here on CADL at 140. So looking for at 150 break here on CADL.
Yeah, Jay Summers just got it right. A lot of sideways action. That's kind of all I'm seeing right now.
And that's one of the reasons why we try to wait this out off the open. Like I said, I'm feeling feisty today.
That's why I have a great time when I come back from dropping my kid off at school. There's still plenty of meat left on the bone.
Yeah, and you've waited out some of that schizophrenic stuff in the morning. I got you on that.
Okay, C4. I got to stop doing that.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm telling you. I knew that was going to happen to myself.
C4 now above VWAP. It's got to close above it on the 5-minute, and it looks like we might be moving up higher here. So I think the next 10 minutes might determine if this is going to get above its pre-market high or not.
This is a decent looking formation. Again, this is what I was trying to play for on a move up to 216. Was shaken out of this, but this looks like this is going. Jay Rice here. Nvidia, Microsoft, Meta, and ARM all went green for right now. And looks like the Q's kind of stopped on the downside.
ADTX is open.
ADTX is open. Let me take a look at that. That's going higher here. Wow, big move here. ADTX. This was halted at 770, wasn't it? So
it's going to get halted again.
Yep.
It's going to get halted again, and it'll probably do another gap up, and then it'll.
What? Okay, it's not sticking there yet. Okay.
Yeah, but if the volume keeps trading like this, I mean, it's going to halt again. This is just so much.
It's doing a decent job holding in here. Actually, still has that look like it's trying to go higher as well. Oops.
All right, there it is.
There it is. There's your $9 holla, 940. Wow, big move here. ADTX.
This was the non-hormonal
birth control, right? Yep.
That's a good one.
It is a good one. It's like CADL gave up that 140. Man, it's the two that I played not working, and the one that I didn't working. We had three on the list. It's hard to be that bad, folks.
It's just it's just going sideways. Have you noticed your SQQs might be a little bit higher than they were yesterday?
Yeah, they definitely are. We'll see where that ends up going here. I actually want to see a more pronounced move. The other thing is the market. We see a move down in the first part of the morning, only to have that reverse 9:45, 10 o'clock. We'll see if we get that here. ADTX looks like this is topped, at least in the near term here at 941, moving lower here into that 8 handle.
Miles is saying GOTU new high a day. I haven't looked at that one yet.
That was one from yesterday, if I'm not mistaken. Yep. Yep, that is moving up.
Wow.
This had a nice move. So keep this in mind. This actually had a nice move right out of the open yesterday, and then was flatlined the rest of the day. Did nothing. Just did absolutely nothing the rest of the day. That's what we don't want to see here today. C4. I did it too, Joe. C4 back down through the VWAP. We'll see if it can actually retake 2 and go higher here. Let's see if it holds the same area. 180 currently. Before the last time, this held 170. What was the low print on this candle? Let me grab that for you. Low print on this candle was 176. 176. That's going to be the spot that we need to hold here.
CADL also sideways, but
yeah,
their VWAP. ADPX hasn't.
I'll tell you what, yet. I took these even a little bit smaller. They're, by the way, SQQQ higher here, market going lower.
That's good. I want to see what happens when we get to about, well, when we get to the previous high we made in July on the SPY. The 27th, we had a high of 459.44. Let's see what happens when we get there.
What was the date that we had that?
That was July 27th. I have on the chart here.
Yeah, July 27th.
So we're coming back down to that high. I want to see what happens when we get to that high.
459.44. You think we bounce there? I think probably as a first move, probably.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. As at least as a first move. Yeah, absolutely. Market just doesn't know what it wants to do.
No, it doesn't.
Not really digesting that CPI report too well, is it?
Bang! I kicked my zoom on my browser up one level here. I really can't go much more than this.
You could try, not you, but people watching. You could try to go down to the gearbox and see if you can change the setting so that it's not automatic. It'll just you can set it yourself.
The resolution there, yeah. JTAI. So this was from yesterday. Miles here mentioning this one. This looks like this is gearing here. You had success with JTAI, didn't you? Especially later in the day, we had that second leg up.
I traded that all day. That was a great stock. And yeah, I was even posting some things about it in Happy Hour channel about the range it was in, and if it broke either one of those ranges, that was going to be where it was headed the rest of the day. Sure enough, it broke out and it stayed up there. That's
exactly what happened.
Yeah, so that was fun to trade. The volume was much lighter than it was in the morning, but it still was enough. So I kept at it. C4 back up above VWAP. C4 is the one I'm trying. I think this one goes. No halt yet.
It's got that look, doesn't it? Here we go on C4, back up to the top end of that range.
It's got to break that 192 that it's been rejected at the past times it was visiting that level.
Apple at lows. Tesla at lows. Bitcoin actually moving to the lows here. Sorry, 13.
Oh, that's right. JTAI. Is that going? I'm not even watching it. Oh, it is going. How about that?
C4 might be stopping here.
Yeah, there's just so much supply that it's got to get through to get to 2. But I think it still could do it. We just need the volume, the buyers to come in. But it's so heavy.
CADL testing this 119 here. If it breaks down beneath 119, I think we're probably done here. Just 0 for 2 on this.
Yeah, CADL not looking good.
Nope.
Maybe it'll change its mind around 111 or $1.
Well, if it does, it will have already taken me out by then. GTHX, this one here from yesterday, this coming up off the bottom here, GTHX. This actually had a great trade yesterday. Very similar type of formation. We moved down and then we kind of curled back up. Looks like we're doing the same thing here today.
Nothing really that new to trade today, so everybody's going back to what worked yesterday.
Yeah, exactly. Go back to what worked, right? Why not?
Yeah, see, look, Gerald's playing MINM again.
Yep, well, that was one from what, a week or two ago, I feel like.
Yeah.
MINM. Smaller names here.
Old dogs, new tricks.
Yeah, right here, right in here. And you know what? I've been taking a look at this. This is actually really kind of held in here. This was from deck 4. We've really kind of held that same level here, so not breaking down here. That's good to see. C4 volume increasing. I don't see it. The concerning thing for me is it's not popping up on the scanner here. So I feel like this is because it's trading down a little bit here. Doing a really good job holding by that VWAP though. Nick saying market sideways with the Fed. Yeah. That's Powell's tomorrow, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So
with the rate decision. Yeah.
C4 here. There we go. That as soon as it broke out of that, we went higher here. C4. This is the initial move that I was looking for.
Taking a little bit there. I'd like to see that break a 2. That'd be great.
Yeah, that would be sweet.
MINM Insiders bought 1.2 million of shares. That's
bottom
good.
might be in here for CADL or the near-term bottom. We'll see if that bounces. If not, we'll cut it.
Maybe. I still think the 111, 110 or $1 level might be the bottom for reversal in those, but we'll see. I mean, it's in the process of my AMAs are in the process of crossing down beneath the VWAP, so I'm still waiting for this to go lower if I'm going to try that. C4 though,
that's looking good. That's above all those EMAs too on that 1 minute chart.
People buying the dip on Lyft. PDD. What's that one about?
That's Pinduoduo. Let's take a look at that because that's one of those China names that really moves. God, this stock's $145 now. Nice little break out of that sideways move out of the open here. This breaking up. This actually had a good day yesterday. Yikes.
Yeah, look at the daily chart on that one. It looks like
this looks bullish to me. Yeah, I'm actually gonna have to kick this back down. I'm sorry, I can't stay that zoomed in. I just can't do it. I just can't do it. Digital Turbine. How's this doing? This was up this morning. Okay, that's still holding up here a little bit. Digital Turbine. is not doing much of anything yet. INVZ, that curling up here. INVZ, let's see if we go towards that 250 there. Bets, the last time we talked about bets, it was 7 cents. Today it's 1 cent. Jeez, man. It's just like, come on.
Cut in half.
It's like Mullen.
Wow.
God, that stock just, that's an embarrassing one. All right, let me, it's a size filter here on my unusual options. I haven't noticed any option flow yet. I guess there's some Intel calls, Citibank calls.
Did you see the interesting comment that Tom put in our happy hour channel about the futures contracts looking like they're being bought up for a Fed rate cut in the first quarter?
Was that this morning?
That was this morning that he said that. Yeah, I thought that was pretty interesting. I'll tell you exactly the time he said it here. Because
futures contracts tied to Fed policy rate in March 2024 is the start of the Fed rate cuts. Interesting.
Well, there's 2 on C4.
Let me bring that one up here. Yeah, this feels like this might go here. If we come back in towards VWAP, maybe I'll retry that.
I took a little bit more off the table. I wanted to get above 216 before I exit.
Looks like Tesla at least found that near-term bottom. So here, I wanted to talk about monitoring the distance from the VWAP when it starts reversing here. So what we had, this was right down here, 234. We had the VWAP at 236. Yeah, it's still about $2 there. $2.5 seems to be that magic number for Tesla, or at least it has been today. We'll keep an eye on that. Keep an eye on that. ADTX making a move for 9. Come on, charts, don't freeze on me. Making another move for 9. We'll see.
Yeah,
interesting, Jay. Dip buying in some of the cyber names. CrowdStrike, Zscaler, Sentinel-1. That is interesting. What happened here?
As in cybersecurity?
Yeah, that's I
Okay,
think
let's look at my
cyber
ETFs.
names.
Remember, we have a whole ETF on this.
Yes,
Let's
we
take a
do.
look at that and see what
gotta
that's
sneeze.
screaming about.
Excuse me. Yep,
Wow.
dip was bought in CrowdStrike for sure.
SecureWorks SCWX. That one's up 8% today.
Sentinel-1 up to yesterday's intraday high. Let's see if it pops above here.
ADTX starting to break down.
What was that other one that the cyber name that you just gave me?
That is SecureWorks SCWX.
SCWX.
C4. We're
really
doing
low
things.
volume on this one. Let's go back and check on C4. There's 2.
Yeah. Still trying to get this to come up here. SecureWorks. Okay, I need to refresh.
Around here. It's like.
Is there? Did we get down to what's the all the dip buying and cyber names for? Is it just because they were all oversold?
No. We just kind of noticed that it's happening. I'm not sure can draw any conclusions from that yet. Qs look like they're trying to move back down here. So that first bounce looks like it's kind of cooled off. Let's see if we actually, at this point now, I want to see if we break that intraday low. I got that at 394.42. It's about 65, 70 cents away from where we're at right now.
Okay, so this is looking.
Jay Summers saying 54-point run in the Qs in 6 weeks.
Yeah, it sounds like they need to cool off.
That's exactly what it sounded like to me, my man. It sounds like it needs to cool off.
Bitcoin breaking down. Oh, that's not great.
Still holding that 41.5 level on the futures.
That's good. Yeah, those of us that are in. Oh, wow. Big order that just came in for C4.
Going to it. 204. That's likely going to go higher here then.
Yeah, I'd be surprised to see supply eat through all that. That's a huge order.
Was this on the level 2 here? Let me bring this
I was on level 2. I was just watching it, and all of a sudden, bang, it popped up, and I, got excited.
Yep. I've got 208 as your intraday high print there. That looks like that's going to get challenged here.
Mm-hmm. What else is happening?
It's like a bunch of the group is on C4 here.
Yeah, because it just looks really good. It looks like it's about to go.
Market trying to bounce. Market trying to go higher here. I'll be damned.
Here we go. We're getting close to touching 416 or 216. Just got to get through that 210.
A little bit of size there at 210. Now we're on it. Not on the first attempt, but we're right back on it. There it goes. There goes some of it. It's coming down, folks. There we go. Higher now. 212, 213.
Almost at 216.
We'll see what happens at that 216.
It'll probably I'm expecting a rejection, and then it'll trade down and come back up through it. That's my expectation. Otherwise, it's just going to blast through it and say goodbye.
Depending on the position size there, might do half at 215, 216. Book it, and then see, and then still have a trailer on in case it moves. Market is trying to bounce here. Sentinel-1 appearing on the relative volume scanner. That looks like that's about to take out 25. Sentinel-1.
So the Qs just came back up to some pre-market resistance. So let's see what happens here at this level. Maybe we get a reversal and goes down again.
Broadcom on its earnings. 1,055. So man, Broadcom. So this I'm trying to figure out. This is from the low after the print to right now, 18.6% move. 165 points in Broadcom from the after earnings low to right now.
Nah, it's not extended.
Nah.
That price target that Citibank gave him yesterday is really fueling that run.
Yeah,
$1,100.
Yeah, was that the Christmas price target?
That was,
as we said.
Yeah, Citibank was Santa Claus this year, just giving out gifts.
C4 here making another attempt at that high, 213, still that high.
Yeah, its volume's still pretty decent.
Well, market, that was the Dow, and NASDAQ's going higher. Man, oh man. I do not think my SQQQ trade is going to work.
I don't know. I think we're coming up to some resistance. I think the next
it's just this
couple of minutes or next 10 minutes or so might tell us where we're going to go.
We talked about it yesterday. The SQQQ has been a tough trade. Now, I have this. I'm the reason I'm paying more attention to it now. I basically have this as a hedge against some of the long positions, but I've been adding to this on the way down now to the point where it's like I need to make a decision on what I'm going to do. I can't just keep buying it if it keeps going down. This market will not crack. It does not care how extended it is. It really doesn't. It's like more gains.
Yeah. And remember how we have a lot of those more seasoned gentlemen in happy hour saying how this is really giving them .com vibes.
Yep.
We all know how that played out.
They're just going to convert all the bears to bulls, and then when everyone's on the same side, I'm to reverse.
Yeah.
I'm to go pound lows.
All right. So we have C4 that got up to 214. It looks like 214 and 213, and it looks like it's trying to come back down to VWAP.
Yeah, the good news on C4 here is that it's not cracking. Like I know we kind of took the foot off the gas. Gosh, come on, Ryan. Took the foot off the gas here, but we're really not breaking down yet. All I had to do was start talking about it. Here we go on the breakdown.
Yeah, and ADTX trying to reverse here after getting up to 950 and selling off.
Wisdom saying that SQQQ is down 71% year to date. Yeah, that's going to be a degrading product. So that is going to continue to go down. And to this year has just, it's been up. DQQQ up 160%. Like I said, man, this is why you guys we talk all the time. I tell you all the time, I'm a long bias trader. I always try to trade to the long side. It is much safer to do so. But when the market presents a different opportunity, got to try to adjust. It's not easy being short when you're normally a long guy.
C4 close to VWAP. I think I'll try to reload here if it holds that level.
Broke 2 there.
So, oh no, that's on a 5-minute chart. Never mind.
Optimistic life is the best life. No doubt about that. No doubt about that. I'm optimistic in the short term. We got Oak Island tonight. Got a Blackhawks game tonight against the Oilers. I'm going to try to stay optimistic all day here today.
All right. There's
and the
C4
Qs are just going to keep marching to highs. More highs for the Qs. Man, oh man.
They're certainly trying. But we're at some more supply, so let's see if it can break through that.
How's View doing? I know a few of you were up. View, this actually did pop to highs here. Whoever was on View. Nice job. ADTX, this really is kind of come back in from that initial rush here. Bounced from the VWAP, kind of held that. We'll see what the next move is here. ADTX.
The next move is to get back above VWAP. I think it's trying to do it. Those last 2 attempts on the 5-minute chart to get up there were rejected. So I want to see the next one be a close above VWAP, and that would be a good sign for this to go higher. CADL still hasn't hit that level. Oh, it just did.
CADL is breaking down.
No, that's okay. I think if we don't get a bounce here on CDL, then I think it's still going to be down around the $1 area. And C4 is bouncing off
NEGG, nice little spike on volume here. NEGG, this is up a little bit. Didn't catch this one, a little late to this name, but that's moving here.
Newegg on, well, I guess they found out about my PC component.
How's that going? You got all those parts yet?
Just waiting on my monitor.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Yeah, I haven't gone to the curved monitors yet. That'll be a fun foray into a new world when I get my first curved monitor.
Looking for it. Okay, so now we're at C4 is at $2. Big resistance there. If it gets through that, it's probably going to spike up to 208.
This also came back into the VWAP. Did a good job holding that. I think you're onto something here, 13. Especially if this can curl back up. Give me 1 sec. Sorry, I have to go to the washroom. BRB.
Hey, you take care of business. What else are we looking at here? Check out Meta. I'll look at Meta real quick. What do we got with Meta? I misspelled that. And what are we looking at with Meta? Oh, okay. Well, it's having a nice run. So it sold off yesterday. Now we're trying to get back up to where it opened yesterday, which is about 330, 331. Is that what we're going for here? Is it Junie? Did I pronounce your name correctly? PTPI could be interesting if it hits 160. Take a look at that. Sorry, guys, I don't have access to the screen. Petros Pharmaceuticals, and what's the story with this one? That has a big spike over the. Wow, it's a big 5-minute candle. What's happening here with this one? Completion of human factor study to facilitate patients' access to its erectile dysfunction drug, Stendra, associated with the company's intended FDA application for prescription to OTC switch. Okay, so this is going to try to become an over-the-counter drug. Interesting. That's that move makes sense.
Sorry about that.
No problem. Just talking.
What I missed?
We looked at Meta and we looked at PTPI. Meta, it looks like it's trying to come back up and reclaim its open from yesterday, and PTPI is getting approval for over the counter for erectile dysfunction. Okay,
PTPI. I feel like I've traded this a number of times. That's nice little volume pop there. Oh, interesting. C4 call. Oh, excuse me. C4 calls.
That's good.
Just crossed the tape. 1,000 lot. $2.50 calls.
That means somebody else is thinking it's going up too.
And that expiration is the 15th. That's this week.
Yeah, Petros, I think you're going to get there's your 160 and through. Market Sniper, you the man. All right, C4 just ate up a whole bunch of supply. I'm still needing it to. I still need the bulls to come in with this one, or else I'm going to have to leave it. But if we don't get a bounce here off the VWAP again, the trade's over. What's Yellen shoveling? Is she shoveling words out of her mouth?
Let's see. Do anything from Yellen here? Yeah. Speaking at a Wall Street Journal event, says wage increases continuing at a healthy pace. No reason to believe the last mile will be especially difficult. Economy can continue to parate at roughly full inflation. Inflation is meaningfully coming down. Sees no reason inflation shouldn't come down to Fed's target. Labor market remains strong but is cooling. U.S. economy is on a path to a soft landing. Prices rising at a much slower rate than before, but level of prices, including rents, are still higher. This is nothing. None of this is new.
Right.
Not anything new at all.
And we're kind of at the median and slightly below the median for what the Fed is expecting for year-end PCE. So that target is, yeah, like you said, we know all this already.
Costs are continuing to rise, but expected to come down over time. The Biden administration doing all it can to bring prices down for consumers. Okay, I think that's the shoveling comment that Lynn was referring to.
Comment.
No, they aren't.
They're not doing all they can.
PTPI looks like it stopped at that 160 area.
That was a great call.
C4 looks like this is kind of curling. Looks like this might go higher here if it can take out this 204 spot.
Yep. Just had to be a little bit patient with that one. Just getting worried when it started tickling the VWAP too much.
Jay saying prices are the new normal. God, I hope not. That's not the case, man.
Could be worse. We could be it could be going to China.
Yeah, that's true. But I'm not a just philosophically, I'm not someone that thinks, well, it could be worse, so I'm happy. No, always try to get better. Always try to be better. The second you start saying, oh, well, it could be worse, so I'm happy with what it's at right now, and now you've settled. And that is a slippery slope all the way to the bottom.
The glass is half full and needs to be filled, Ryan.
What's that?
The glass is half full and it needs to be filled.
Yeah, always. You always want to try to fill that cup and runneth over if you can.
That'd be a good line for morning trading. Morning trading, may your cup runneth over.
This is actually higher here today. We talked about this, I think, yesterday. I'm sorry, go ahead.
It's not a problem. I keep interrupting you. I was just saying, Rhett, pointing out, grab those 5% CDs while you can. Yeah, I've been telling people, like, hey, CDs are pretty good to put some money, but don't lock all your up in a CD. But yes, CDs rates are.
Weren't they doing like 11 or 12 months CD? I mean, locking up a little bit of money for a year, that doesn't seem like that's going to be too bad.
No, it's not. And there's a whole bunch of mutual funds out there that are going to allow you to get close to that same rate and not be locked up. So there's a lot of different ways you can play it. But yes, CD rates being up here, very attractive. I agree.
Market bounce seems to have stopped here, at least temporarily, on the SPY and on the NASDAQ. We'll see if that holds here.
Yeah, Elon, bulls keeping markets afloat. The question is, what happens when everybody's bullish? We tend to turn bearish.
Yep.
That's kind of what we're waiting for. Everybody's bullish right now, so that might be an indicator that
your VIX is 1234.
Yeah.
This VIX has been hanging out in the 12 for like the past week, I feel like. It's just unbelievable.
We've had like 2 closes above 13, and they were like just pennies above 13. And every time that we get above 13 on an open, we just sell off and it closes beneath 13 every day.
Yeah, it's wild.
The past couple of weeks. That's not gonna be able to hold up a whole lot.
That's longer. Not sustainable. CCC or C4 here again, trying to go higher here on C4. Yeah. There's some size here at 204 that I'm seeing.
Yeah, they're trying to get this one to not break out, but I say keep fighting. Come on.
I say smash up the like for my man 13 helping us out here in Mitch's absence. By the way, while we're on the subject, Mitch will be back tomorrow, at least as far as I'm aware.
All right.
Mitch will be back tomorrow, so we'll look to attack the market. But 13, I will say this: I'm not even going to ask Mitch for permission. I'm just going to say I'm going to leave the door open. If there's any of these mornings that you want to join us, or you got something you want to cover, let's do it. C4 here popping right through that level. Yep. 210 now on C4.
More asking about IBM. I haven't looked at the chart. I actually have a long position in IBM that I'm holding for a very long time. I like this company as a kind of under the radar AI play. They've also got a great dividend, and they've been around for a while. I think it's a great company. And if you're looking for a trade, I'll take a look at it right now, see if there's anything I see. But I like the company for a long hold. Oh, it's moving. Like it's just popping today. That's what he's talking about.
C4 here, buddy, you're really making this difficult for me to see around. C4 here going for that high here. High now 213 at 216 pre-market high is something notable. Size all above it on C4 here.
Oh, she's trying.
She's trying.
Oh, there we go. Nice big order just came in at 210. And it got eaten up.
Yep. And there's orders beneath it though. 208, 205. Still some orders beneath that. We'll see.
Yeah, I think I'm just gonna scale a little bit more out.
Nice ad down there on VWAP, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Take the week off, Mitch. He deserves as much time off as he wants.
I'll tell you what, I really like his strategy of saving his time off for December. It is my favorite time of the year. There's often family around. There's tons of stuff going on. I totally get it. I totally get it. And as his teammate, I'm here to support him do that. I'll say, I was actually talking with the Stay Focused 13 from Happy Hour yesterday. I was just speaking with him yesterday. It was really, it was on vacation. And I was saying, hey, I hope your vacation was great. And he was really saying how important it is that mind, body, and soul all be in positive aspects. If that's all positive, everything else is going to be positive. Your trading, your life, your relationships, food. So totally get that balance. I'm a big fan of that. And sometimes, if we have our nose to the grindstone all day, every day, you can kind of lose sight of that. So taking a break, always good for the mentals. And Mitch and I can't really take breaks at the same time. That's the other aspect.
I'm not sure if it was Confucius or another Taoist proverb, but it goes along the lines of he who knows when enough is enough will always have enough. And I think that's a pretty good
that's not bad
balance. Yeah,
that's not bad.
Let's go, C4. Explode.
They actually brought in an offer right beneath that high a day there at 212. So that needs to get chomped there. And then there's another one at 215 right above it.
I'm looking for this 15 EMA on the 5 minute across VWAP, and I think I'll get my move then.
Part of me, I'm looking at this. I'm watching it set up. I'm looking at the higher lows that we have on this chart here. Let me actually go to it. We got higher lows all morning. Sure feels to me like we're going to break the top off here. It's just I've really struggled buying upside breaks. It just has not been rewarding. It's actually really punished me. And I've been trying to do a better job adding a little bit early. That's why you see me getting flushed out of some of these positions, like on CADL, for example. I'm looking at this and I'm thinking 213, 216. It's going to fall here on C4, but I just don't have. I'm just not willing to buy the upside break. If this could actually consolidate at another level here and then curl, I'd be interested in actually taking a stab at it.
Well, you could do a bracket order with a very tight stop and give yourself like maybe a 5-cent room to run. And that way your loss will be minimal and you could capture some profit and just keep executing that. Just, one way to do it. Because, when you get those breaks, they whip around, they're volatile. So yeah. And that's what I was talking about yesterday with Mom Spaghetti Trading. when Jet AI did that breakout and started whipping around, I was like, do I trade this? Do I not? So I tried, and my hands were getting all clammy. And, pulse was racing. So that's Mom Spaghetti Trading right there.
PTPI, this did go higher here. This was a great one. Looks like Jay Wild hit this one. Awesome stuff here, chat and team. Thing about PTPI here, obviously we had that first move, but had this really nice hammer candle that kind of held us right at the VWAP here. That would actually have been really decent. Almost as high as 180. We'll see if 180 gets taken there. C4 here backing off that spot, but not breaking down. So let's see if we get that. Jonathan calling BLBD. That's Bluebird, right? We did take a look at that here earlier. Let me take a look at it again, see where it's at. That's Bluebird core. We got 2538. What happened here? There we go.
Yeah, I had a nice gap up. I don't know what the story is with this one.
Yeah, it just okay. So it really broke out of this formation here is what's going on. This is actually not bad. if you were able to hit this. This might be over, but this was
Earnings.
really, really not bad.
They had earnings.
Yep.
Yesterday. Okay.
And increased guidance. That's why it's moving higher here today.
Yeah, increased their margin by 10%. That's what they guided.
Here comes C4 back in towards the VWAP. I've got VWAP at 194 on C4 here. We're coming back in there, 199 right now. Let's see if we get to that 194 level. ADTX knifing says AI Rod. Take a look at that as well.
Yeah, it looks like it got support from around 750.
Yeah.
Yep. No, it's above that.
Right at VWAP, 788. Looks like C4 stopped at 2 on the downside there, maybe 199 prints, but is effectively bouncing off of 2. And NASDAQ going higher. Stop me if you've heard this before. Market higher.
You never say stuff like that. AMD cruises above 135. You think you know when you can peg when all these are going to sell off, but just when you think that, they just go higher. I'd expect the market to, rotate or take profits or something at some point soon. And I don't know how much longer we're going to stay up.
Huge order lots in SQQQ. I think I'm probably dead here. I think I'm probably going to have to book this loss. This is
Be
just
careful.
not.
As soon as you do that,
I know. I'm well aware. This 515 level, there was just a ton of stock traded at this level. My God. This is not looking good, though. I'll tell you what, man, shorting is not my game. It is so effing frustrating.
Yeah, I tried to do SQQ, I think it was earlier this year, and it didn't work out.
Yeah.
Didn't lose my hat or anything, but it just didn't work out.
Yeah, I'm not going to lose my hat either. It's frustrating. It's frustrating that I can't get it to work. And it's like, I know, God, I know exactly what's going to happen too. I'm going to dump it, and it's going to absolutely rock it. We're going to get all types of macro events and all types of shit. That's just how it goes. C4 here looking like this might be trying to roll back over through 2. Remember, we got that VWAP at 194. We'll see if it can get there.
Mm-hmm.
Leo, you excited that the cat left? I don't blame you.
You've got a real Tweety and Sylvester thing going on there.
Yeah, it was wild. It was funny too, because when I had all 3 of them, they really kind of banded together, and they wouldn't really put too much stock into it. But then when there's just one here, he's always got one eye on the cat. Nick says, Ryan, you've had some great picks. Yeah, no, I got it. I'm trying to get a feel for where the overall market is going, and I'm trying to play it. This SQQQ stuff started off as a hedge, especially as we started to trade up. And then as it came back in, I kept thinking, okay, here's the bounce spot. Let's add, bounce, let's add, bounce, let's add. And it's just no moving up. It's just the market will not go down. It's just, and like I look around at things, and it's like, this market really needs to come back in, and it just won't. You know what they say, the market will remain irrational longer than you can stay solvent. C4, maybe we're kind of bouncing back up to the upside here. Maybe 3rd time's the charm.
That would be good. That would be good.
We'll try some here at 205. Let's see if we can take out 213, 215.
Oh, wow.
Going to be your spots here on C4.
Yeah, I'm lightening up here. There's another order that just came in trying to eat through 210. I don't know if it's going to be enough, though. So I'm
that 210. There's some decent size there.
All right. Oh, getting volatile.
There we go. Here's 213 up.
Yep. I'm just letting the rest ride here.
215's got your next size. We'll see if we can pop above on that. C4, here we go, folks. Let's see if we can finally get that break that we've been talking there. Let's go.
And I'm out.
Let's go. That's how you do it, Joe. That's how you do it. I am out 2 on that. That was a decent ad. Finally got some of that back.
And you know what my biggest signal was? That what I mentioned earlier, the 15 EMA that crossed the VWAP and it took off. Those crossings, they really happen, and they really help.
So what time frame do you have on that? Because I got
5 minutes.
The 5 minute. Because I was going to say I got the 5th. Here you go. Here you go. So on my chart, the ones that you folks can see here, so what 13 is talking about, the 15 EMA on a 5 minutes, that's a 15 5-minute bars. That line here is the orange one. The light thin blue line is the VWAP. This cross happened right in here, 10:05. We had the price at $2. And now that was your indicator. Okay, awesome stuff. Nice little learning lesson there with using some of these. This is why I think actually the reason I added these to this chart was because we talked about that, right? We talked about these are your EMAs, right? 9, 15, 50, and 200.
9, 15, 65, and 200 EMAs. I look for crossings. I look for them for support, resistance. They're very, very strong EMAs that I use, and they work across multiple time frames. So that's why I use them. Very, very good for helping me decide when I need to be in something or be out of something. And they also kind of give you an indicator when you get like the 9 crossing to the down to the 15, then you might be seeing some more downside. And as the smaller time frames cross down to the larger time frames, it's even more bearish. Okay. This thing is just relentless. It's going up to 228 and holding there, but it's got a good amount of size up to 230. So
yeah, I'm out, but I'll be honest.
Same.
I mean, if we take a look at these higher lows here, 13, I'll be honest, if we come back in and we get another opportunity to reload this, I'd try it again. We finally got some green on the screen there. So
yeah, and ADTX is halted to the downside now, and it cannot get it back above VWAP. So that's looking like that's going to be bearish until maybe it gets to about 660. I'd be interested to see if it can get held up by 660, 650 in ADTX. If not, then it's going down to 550.
Okay. So we got Basim asking what's going on in Sava. Announces dividend distribution of warrants to shareholders. That you'd have to look through. That's the only fresh news here for today. Sava's actually been on a pretty decent run recently. So the several day move here in a row, eight points. This was about $22 December 7th, just actually 21 bucks December 7th. Got a 9-point move here in just several sessions on Sava. That Alzheimer's candidate here.
So is this run off the hopes that they're going to capture that dividend? Like, what's the ex-dividend date, and how much of this of their money is leaving the company?
Yeah, no, I'm not sure. And here, this is shareholders of record will receive warrants to purchase shares of common stock. All warrants to be distributed to shareholders free of charge.
Oh, so that's what how they're doing it.
Yeah, so it looks like they're giving you warrants then instead of cash.
Okay. One interesting thing that I was just mentioning about those EMAs, if you want to look at CADL, we're about to get a cross of the 9 down beneath the 65. I'd be interested to see if we get a drop down beneath the 200.
So you had a 5-minute chart here. You had what am I looking for here again? The cross, the 9 and
the 9 crossing the 65. I'm looking.
Oh, you know what? I don't have the 65 on here.
But that's just what I'm looking for. I think if it crossed, I think once those smaller time frame EMAs cross the 200, this thing is going to be done. C4 still trying to go higher. It's up to 230 now.
226 now. Yep.
So at this point for that one, I want to look at longer time frame and see where my next supply levels are.
That's something here.
230. Okay, so we're back in September land. And it looks like it wants to get above.
Okay, so
240 for the next move.
Okay,
something
so
going on with. Sorry, I was just
here. Go ahead. Sorry.
I was just reading what Jay Summer said about BYND. I'll bring that up while you say.
Okay, real quick here. Saf saying, guys, the resolution is very bad. No way to fix it on YouTube. Saf, unfortunately, this is just not correct. I'm actually looking at YouTube right now. 720p resolution. I can read every single number on the screen. It is absolutely a setting on your end. And like I said, I'm sorry, I cannot adjust the stream parameters. We're gonna have to wait for Mitch for that, but I can confirm it's not a problem.
BYND is moving because they're launching a new Beyond Burger exclusively at Costco.
The Costco fake meat burger, we should call it.
I like Costco, but I question this move.
Yeah, I like Costco too. But hey, you know what though? There are a lot of people that really like these alternative meats. This is all chemicals for me. To me, this is a no touch. I'm just not interested in any of this. But there are a lot of people that do this, and if there's a market, I'm sure Costco will attack the market. Jay saying looks fine to me too. I appreciate that, Jay. That's what I thought.
Oh, PTPI is falling, it seems.
Kevin saying, how come I have 3 averages for my VWAP? Kevin, I can't see what you're talking about, but what I'm guessing is that you have 3 lines on your VWAP. What that is, that middle line is the actual VWAP line, and the one above and below are standard deviations away from the VWAP. You should be able to look into your indicator settings and learn more about that. And you're asking if that's normal. Turns out that different charting services or different brokers have different VWAPs. Some of them have the standard distribution lines or the standard deviation lines. Some of them don't. The Trading View one here is just one single line, for example.
Well, what else is out there, folks? I'm not trading anything right now. I did my business with C4.
Yeah, I'm all out of stuff here too. That C4 pop. That was nice. That was a really good call. You were on that.
Thank you.
So I'm glad. I know I took a small loss on the first time here, but the second time around that was good. Jay saying Beyond Meat, it's about the 10th company they tried to sell through. All of them have failed. So I guess we're saying, well, we'll see if Costco's the magic retailer there, or if it just fails again.
Well, I would put my money on it failing again.
Yeah.
I don't think America's ready to completely convert to plant-based meat. That's just my opinion. I mean, I live in Texas. You know how that goes.
Yeah. Says the guy that's used to sell grills and deep fries turkeys for the past decade. Yeah, yep. I don't think you're going to Beyond Meat. By the way, here, real quick, ticker TME. This is Jay mentioning this. TME 10-cent music. This still going here. This up, what, about 70 cents, 60 cents here from this morning. TME. This is actually on a multi-day move here. 3 consecutive days of up. So accounting for an entire dollar here. So TME. I'm not in this, haven't been trading this one, but this is a good shout here, Jay. C4 looking like it's going to try to take out 230 here on C4. That is the high intraday print.
It's going to need more volume to do that, but
yeah, sure
I won't say that it can't. 10-cent music entertainment group. Is that the 10-cent, or is this like a spin-off of that, or like one of their?
By the way, right through 230 there on C4, and went as high as what I got 234 as your high print there. Yeah. So 4-cent pop as we move through that. Remember the last time that we popped through this. There we go, 7-cent. The last time we popped through this, it was really good. We got a nice pop here. Here's another one. Watch for the pull now on C4. If any of you folks day trading this, don't give up your gains on that pull here. I am expecting one at some point.
Yeah, when that volume really starts to thin out, then there's going to be, I anticipate a lot more selling at that point. Just be careful with this one. Take your gains.
Abby giving you 238 is the next C4 resistance here. That is exactly where we've stopped so far. Literally to the penny. Spot on there.
Great job. Thanks, Abby.
Real quickly, order flow says, how high will C4 goes? If we knew that, bro, we would have a airtight plan locked up. I am not sure off the top of my head. We're just going to try and trade the price action.
Just easy enough. Just look to the left, like over a day chart or an hour chart, and you can see the different levels where there's consolidation. Right now, that 238 to 240, that's where we had it in September. So that's why we've got the resistance. Just look to the left. You'll see the levels. Identify those. You have an idea of where it could go. You just have to watch the volume to see if it can even get up there. Right now, it's looking like it's still going to go, but the volume has gone down since that big green candle that moved it out of or beyond 216. So just keep that in mind. The volume is thinning out. Is View still doing things?
That stopped right at 238. That's incredible. I'm gonna run through this list here real quick. CADL, that's just a bunch of nothing. Kava here. Kava higher here today. Kava up 11% here today. What happened on Kava? No, well, I don't see any news here. Kava up 11%.
This was that IPO, right? That got absolutely hammered.
Mediterranean, the Chipotle Mediterranean, yeah.
Maybe the decision was made that it's time to not beat this one up anymore. That's my initial thought.
37.5. You get above 37.5. I think 40 is probably next on that.
I have 38 as a level. I think you're right. We get above 38 or wherever the levels you have, then this thing has some more fuel in the tank, maybe to go up to 40. But we'll see. I'm not in this.
Uma, this is a good question. Which trading platform is good for day trading? Because my trading platform doesn't close quickly. I think what you mean is close positions. Mm-hmm. This is hit or miss. I'll be honest. By the way, we got a pull coming here in C4. This is the pull I was waiting for. 220 looks like the bottom of that pull. We'll see if it continues pulling. I use Thinkorswim as my broker. So formerly TD Ameritrade, I guess they're bought by Schwab now. To me, this is the reason I'm still with this platform is because it's worked so well for me. I don't feel the need to change, even if there's a fancy bell and whistle. Like, for example, Mitch uses TC2000 as his broker, loves that sector breakdown. I think it's really cool. Not enough for me to change. I'm really happy with TD Ameritrade. I don't write 100 tickets a day. I don't do 100 trades a day. So maybe there's a better one for day trading. I know DAS Trader gets a lot of talk about that. I don't really have experience with the Schwab platform. So I don't know. Ask around here. I would say I'm happy with TD. The other thing is that all brokers, no matter who they are, all brokers are going to experience temporary outages or temporary problems. Just because one has that's not necessarily a reason to move away from it. Your best bet's always having two brokers to make sure that you can trade. Lacey in the chat here saying Webull is great. I've heard a lot of good things about Webull. There you go. 13 likes Webull. So
I used to use TradeStation, and that one's all right. In my opinion, I think it works better for some other people, especially if they do options. I hear that their options are really their platform is really great for that. Mm-hmm. But I moved away from TradeStation. I tried TD Ameritrade, never funded the account, so I because it was just a lot. But I've been using Webull for a few years, and I use their web app and I use their desktop app, and it's worked out well for me. Setting up your layout also really makes a difference too. If it's a layout you can work with, then it really helps. The C4 is still trying to make new highs. It's holding that.
Yeah, came back in here. Now I got the VWAP here at 199 on C4, so I'd actually like to see this come in a little bit more. We'll see if we end up getting that though.
Webull is beyond
Webull is beyond me. Gladys saying TS toss. That's what I use. I like it. You're welcome, Uma. Hopefully it's helpful for you. Looks like Lynn says Webull and Interactive Brokers.
Yeah. Interactive Brokers I heard a lot of good things about too.
Glenn, great to see you. Webull and Thinkorswim. So it looks like there's some consensus here. Webull, Thinkorswim, IBKR. Those seem to be the brokers. Trade Zero and Lightspeed, says Jay Summers. So good question there. C4 Curlin, we'll see. 231st. It's the market's just kind of holding in here. We didn't really try to make some new highs, but we are kind of holding right here. SPY and Dow seem flat. NASDAQ came in a little bit, but that's just because it's moving around.
Yeah, I think maybe we're just going to have to wait and see what Powell does tomorrow. And that's what the market's waiting for is just, okay, well, we got our CPI print. It's sticky. Okay, well, let's just wait and see what Powell says.
Yeah, I mean, I on days like this, I normally, it feel, or at least recently, it's felt like there's been a lot of waiting till we get that big print out of the way. I know we got CPI here today. Not a whole lot of surprises in that print. Maybe Powell will have something for us tomorrow. I don't know. We shall see.
I would have thought that a sticky CPI might not have, given the market the positive reaction that it had today. But we'll see what Powell has to say tomorrow. Yeah, I don't know about C4. We got that CADL is trying to get support from the 200 EMA, so there's that, but it's coming up to the 65, and I think it's going to get rejected. CADL, I don't know. I don't think there's anything left.
Yeah, I think that's over.
ADTX, this one's looking like it's about to break down too.
Ray, really appreciate you helping out another chat member here. This is awesome. I'm not even familiar with this, but this looks like a nice little tip in your NVIDIA control panel. Appreciate that, Ray. Appreciate that. Uma, we're looking at time and sales, right? That's what it's called. Time and sales will tell you what has actually crossed the tape, and we're looking for some of those bigger lots. Some brokers allow you to filter that, but time and sales and level 2 work hand in hand.
Order book.
Yep.
And you might have to pay a little bit more to your broker for that. Usually it's like $2 a month to get level 2 data for some. I don't know what the pricing is for everybody, but just look into that.
For Thinkorswim, it was free. It has always been free. Yeah, there was my first broker, I think, was Scott Trade way back in the day, and you did have to pay extra for it. But Thinkorswim, it was always free. So I've never had to pay for it once I made that. Nick saying, not a single trade today. I missed C4 and a couple others. Tomorrow will be dicey. So, Nick, here's the one thing I will say about this. I don't think this gets said enough. If you're able to be disciplined enough to not take a trade when something doesn't meet your plan, that is actually a good thing. I know it feels like a day goes past, you haven't made any trades, you haven't made any money, it feels like a wasted day. That's not really the reality. If you're not being lackadaisical with your capital, if you're remaining disciplined and sticking to your plan, that's a good thing. So I'd look at that as a positive.
I look at it this way. Trading is SATs. If you get a wrong answer, then that's a wrong answer. You lose. If you get a right answer, you win. If you give no answer, you still win. You don't lose anything. That's just the way I look at it. If you're not going to trade anything, you're not read the debt that day. You live to fight another day. Protected your capital.
Okay. Let's look around.
ADTX trying to come back, but I think we're moving down. What else do we have out there? I don't want to look at C4 anymore because I'm done with that, and I don't know what's going to happen with it.
Yeah, that one's still starting to curl here. ADTX really just kind of breaking down.
Yeah. We got that 9 crossing to the 15, so I think this one's going to go lower.
Wisdom saying he's going to take a long on C4. So just when we thought we were done, Wisdom's like, nope, we're going to bring you right back in. We're going to talk about it.
Well, it's moving up. I think he's got it right on. If it pops here.
INVZ right at the highs here. Good shout, Jay. This is lower volume here, but this has been 2 good days in a row for this stock. It's continuing to move higher here.
I'm going to look at NXTP. I want to see what that one's about.
Okay.
This one brought to us by
Next Play.
Order Flows Trader.
Oh, this is a penny stock that's breaking out of its 75-cent level here on volume. I'll pass on the penny plays.
I wonder what the catalyst here is.
230 on C4 here. 238, your high here. That might still be in play.
Yeah, no news on Next Play. What do they even do? A technology solutions company offering games, in-game advertising, digital asset products, and services connected to TV and travel booking services. Where have I heard something like this before? I mean, I think, okay, you know what it is? It's probably a relative volume play. If you look at what happened yesterday with NXTP, that had a huge volume day. So I think this is maybe just relative volume.
Okay. That sure did. We're basically just kind of tracing up some of that move here.
Hubs.
CYTO, another penny stock here. This is moving pretty good. Hubs, did you say HUBS?
Oh yeah, Wisdom's seems to be happy about Hubs.
HubSpot.
Yeah, that's a lot of money for a stock. This one looks like it's trying to get above 517.
They're actually a really good formation here on the daily. Sure looks like this is going to take out 520, whatever this is here.
Yeah, I wonder how much this will run if we get if it continues to go up and get that golden cross, because it just had a silver cross back on November 30th, and then the next day it popped, came back in. Now we're moving up again.
What were we saying? That wasn't Jay saying Lyft was moving earlier today too? Oh, come on.
Somebody said that. Yeah, I think they were buying
sure
the
that was Jay. Okay, so this is stopped moving up here, but this was a big bounce from Lyft.
Yeah, this thing's extended. CGC, rule of thumb, when they start trading in less than a penny spread, see ya.
I'm with him on that. Look, this is one of the reasons why I really, really don't like these. The one thing that you'll see if you're a Thinkorswim user, you'll notice that your tree automatically, your active trader tree, I call it the tree, gets broken down into these tenths and hundredths of a cent. I'm with Jay on this. If it gets to this level, I'll look for something else. And I mean, like the whole thing with the pot trade, I mean, we talked about this yesterday. It's really the federal legalization is going to be the big thing. There are going to be winners. There are going to be losers. There's going to be consolidation. Your guess is as good as mine trying to pick those. I'm not at a point now where I feel confident about owning any of these companies for a long haul to wait for that federal legalization. I don't know. I don't really think that this trade's very easy. It sounds easy in principle, but in reality and in practice, it really just isn't.
They just had another offering earlier this month at the end of May. And, they could end up having another one later on too.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of those. Not a fan.
But we will be one day.
One day.
Hoping big. Yeah, somebody brought this up yesterday. Was that you? Because
big lots.
Because
right?
Yeah,
it was Gerald. Yeah, that was Gerald from yesterday too.
Yeah, thanks for bringing this one up, because this one has been interesting to me because of the short interest.
Yeah, we talked about this one. 50% of the float shorted, 4.5 days to cover.
That seems to have dropped.
It did. We got a new reading effective as of yesterday. So this came in yesterday near the close here. This was about 5. So short interest coming in just a little bit. Actually, the former print is right here. The percent of float shorted coming in just a little bit. The days to cover, it looks like that number came down because the average volume, and just to give you, this is a 10-day average, looks like that average volume jumped up fairly significantly. That's why we got the days to cover number to change there. Still high on the short interest here, though. Still high on this.
Yeah, the daily formation in this one looks like it could make a go for the 200-day SMA. It just has this bullish setup, and you also have a silver cross that occurred on the 6th.
AMD,
there's a lot of good indicators in big. So I think it's worth keeping on your radar. AMD,
just this has been no chill today, just straight up.
What do you think? Do you think it's going to get to that all-time high that it made last?
I mean, at this point, I don't think tech's ever going to go down again. I'll be quite honest with you. I don't think, tech's ever going to go down again. Why? AI is going to be in everything. Pretty soon, you're going to have an AI toaster on Black Friday sale. I mean, it's absolutely crazy. There's just no end in sight. I would not be surprised if this 160 area gets tested with a 160, 164, your all-time high there on AMD. Would not even be surprised. I'm not in it. I'm not playing for it because as soon as I buy it, it'll get cut in half. But to me, there's just no chill at all in these tech stocks. NASDAQ just too strong.
Wisdom taking a big position in hubs. Get that money.
And Powell really coming in too. That ammo play. I know that's for 2024, but I'd like to see that kind of hold here.
Is it below 2?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it is. And breakdown here. I mean, this is possible to go to 150 if this continues to break down.
I'll buy more then.
Bummer. Yeah, bummer.
No, I mean, remember I mentioned, I don't know if it was yesterday or the day before, but there's a gunpowder shortage globally.
Yeah. Yep.
So there could be an event where we see all those gun and ammo plays take off.
You're absolutely right about that.
So that would be like VSTO, SWBI. I can't think of some of the other ones. ASO. Basically all the outdoor brands and the gun stocks. RGR is another one.
Ruger, yeah.
So ABGO. Yeah, Powell makes ammunition. Exactly. They make and they have a manufacturing plant in Manitowoc, Wisconsin. I like the company. I think they're going to do great, but it's just not favorable right now.
I used to go to Door County for vacation all the time, and we would pass that Manitowoc exit all of the time. I'm very familiar with that area. All right, folks, it is 10:48. Got about 10 minutes left here before we wrap up for the day. Smash up the like for my man 13 for helping us out here. As a reminder, we will be back tomorrow. Mitch will also be back tomorrow. We do have Zunaid with Trader Bacon coming up right after this, so stick around. I will automatically direct you over there, so don't worry about that. Thanks for joining us. Be sure to smash up that like.
Stay green, everybody. Thanks for having me on the show.
You're welcome. Oh, I'm not signing off yet, Gary. I was just getting it ready there. And of course, while we're going through all that, don't forget, trade the pool. Trade the pool, easy way for some of you that don't have a day trading account yet to get the leverage in order to buy and sell trades, or buy and sell in the same day, kind of get around that PDT rule. Give yourself that leverage up to $260,000 worth of buying power. Has a large pool of stocks, never a shortage of stuff to trade on Trade the Pool. Those guys are great. They're in here to help. They give us trading ideas, just awesome stuff. So be sure to check them out if that's something that interests you. C4 here, still doing a really good job holding. In fact, taking a look at CADL because it looks like it did come off the bottom. $1 was that level. It finally stopped selling off, by the way. C4 here, this really kind of just flagging and holding this level. Holding above that 220, really kind of just in a range here, 220 to 230. Anywhere in there seems to be the tight range that it's playing in.
CADL did bounce off $1. That's crazy.
Yeah, it did.
I noticed people mentioning GoTo earlier, GOTU. It's got a pretty nice formation here. It's holding the sideways trading that it's been doing for the past, what is this, about an hour.
GOTU.
Yeah. So this one looks like if the volume starts to come back, we could get a break above that 350. Look at a shorter time frame. I think you're on a 1 minute. Yeah.
I'm on a 1. Yeah.
Yeah. That looks pretty good.
Yeah. This sure does. And even the 15. Look at these wicks to the bottom here.
Yeah. So at this point, because the pattern looks really good and it's above VWAP, I'd look for volume expansion at this point. That's all I really want to see out of this.
Yeah. It's a good one. A little bit of size there at 350. We'll see if that rolls.
I appreciate that comment, Lynn.
PTPI. Everything seems to have slowed down here. Is it just me, or are you folks? Everything on like every chart on my screen has slowed down.
I feel that too.
Yeah, you feel it too.
Yeah, and it's like I was saying earlier. I think the CPI print's out of the way now. We've had Yellen vomit a bit, and now we need Powell to come on tomorrow and give us that rate decision.
Everything just kind of slowed down. Just had that stuff early, and I'm glad we found something. Something early to trade here because everything else has really seemingly come back in.
I think GOTU might make a move soon.
Here we go. GOTU 342.
Rich is saying oil looks weak. I agree. It has been looking weak. And I think a lot of it is around that that OPEC meeting, isn't it?
Yeah, and that came in today. Oil came in today. Oil down 3% here today. Decent move down.
I need a good look at what crude is. Again, I haven't paid attention to it in some time. When I remember, I was saying, "Oh, it's
the crude futures."
Yeah. What are we at now?
69.18.
Wow. Really? Okay? So that's interesting. Remember, I was telling you I want to get more XL. Okay, XLE is not low enough. I want XLE under 76, and then I can add to it. Because I left a lot of my XLE when we had a run up last year and this year, so now I wanted to come in so I can reload.
I was gonna say, looking to reload there. It sounds like.
AVGO, that's still running, isn't it?
Did that hit its $1,100 target or not yet? Nope, 1050, almost. Got as high as 1060.
Man,
Wisdom took some go-to here on that. Took that setup. Good luck. Go-to breaks. C4 still flagging here.
Yeah, C4. The volume's hanging in there, but it's not what it was the open. Yeah, I don't know what to make of C4 at this point. It still looks like it could blast off again, but I don't know how much more gas is left in the tank with this one.
Yeah, me either.
And there's a big order at
oh, here we go. Maybe we'll find out right here.
It's trying to eat that huge order at 228 right now.
Yep. Nope, not this time.
Yeah.
See if it goes back to that 228. You're right. That is a big order. That was getting hit there. Let's see if we can see that here. I was watching GOTU, but let's see if we can. Here's your CC. So this is what we're talking about here. Here it is. Here's that big order right in here. And in here. 46,844 there. We'll see if that gets taken out. If it does, maybe it does pop up to this. Has brought all I see all the way up to that intraday high at 238. So maybe that is it. 13 should have a shirt that says "Got steak."
Interesting. You bring that up. I'm still looking at maybe getting back into buying more heads of cattle. Remember when I did that in 2022?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So I'm looking at doing that, but actually I might be getting hogs instead because I think that's got a better prospect in 2024. 13
giving you prospect on different farm animals. That's really
well. It's just what
shades here. 13. I like it.
There's you know, the agricultural data that comes out that you can look into to see what their forecasts are. And that's what I was going off of. They anticipate that pork production is going to be up next year. So
gotcha. So you're data dependent on that too. Makes a lot of sense. No money in cows right now. I'm downsizing myself. There we go. You get a little bit of everything here in this one. A little bit of everything here. And folks, we're going to be wrapping this up in just a couple of minutes. I do want to see what happens here on C4. And then we're kind of right at this level here at 228 level. Looks like we backed off of it temporarily. Coming back on. Let's see if we end up taking this out here.
Yeah, that size is bigger now at that level. And GoTo is still trying to, yeah, man. Everything's
the VIX is 1216. Dude, this is there's nobody cares. Like nobody's worried. It's just the market higher. VIX smoked. VIX setting a new low here today. Just unreal.
That's a good one, Sydney. He called me a bacon trader, and I was like, oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, man. Market seems stagnant now.
Yeah, this is just totally dried up here. Well, 13, I'll say this. Thanks for joining us here this morning. Thanks for at least making the morning exciting. Really appreciate it. And yeah, you're more than welcome. I'm really happy that you joined us these last 2 days. It really takes pressure off of me not having to do everything. plus really good spot on some of these smaller trading opportunities here. So
Yeah,
really
we had
good stuff across the
had
board.
some really good winners. And congratulations, everybody that was in those winners the past couple of days. Good job.
Yeah, I mean, even on days where it's slow, we're able to find something to trade here. That's what we do here at Live Trading. So again, smash up the like for my man 13. Thanks again. Definitely for all of you that are pro members, be sure to check out the happy hour on Benzinga Pro. And if you're not a Benzinga Pro member, what on earth are you waiting for? Reach out to my man James. We will definitely find you a deal. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining us. I'm going to go ahead and end the stream, get you over to Trader Bacon. Have a good one, folks. 13, stay green, my friend.
I'll see you later, man. Take care, guys.
All right, take care, everybody.